All right, guys, this is our 2022 mechanical broadhead test, and I'm gonna walk through what we have set up here. But first off, going to talk about the broadheads that we're going to test. We're going to do the Rage Trypan, 100 grain broadhead, 0.039 blade thickness. Then we're going to do the G5 Mega Meat, and also 100 grains. I do not know the blade thickness of these, so we'll just have to put that into the video. This is a 3-blade, the other one is a 2-blade, and then we've got the Sever 2.0. Also don't know the blade thickness of these, but we'll put them in the video. We're going to shoot them all with the same exact arrows, these RIP TKOs. Total arrow weight is 470 grains. Bow is a Matthews V3X, shooting at 300 feet per second, 74.3 pounds at a 29-inch draw length. So that's what we're going to be shooting all the broadheads through. They're brand new out the box. We have no affiliation with any of these broadheads. I'm personally curious to know which one's going to hold up the best. And so that's what we're going to do. I've heard great things about all three of these. I will say this G5, these retention clips were a little bit squirrely. It could have been operator error because I've never used them before. So if any of you guys have a lot of experience with these clips, if you've had problems with them or it was just operator error, let me know. But that did strike me as a little bit odd. The other two retention systems seem to be really well put together. And of course, I've shot these Trypans a bunch, shot a ton of animals with them. So I'm not biased. I want to know what's the best. So we're going to shoot through this setup. And what we've got here, we've got large pork shoulder scapulas, and we've got them duct taped on each side of these 17-inch wide boxes, which is about the width of a large white-tailed deer. And then inside, this is Jello. Instead of doing like a ballistic gel, we wanted something that was more realistic to the insides of an animal. So this Jello, you know, it's got a lot of substance in there, but it's more uniform, and this isn't made for stopping stuff like the ballistic gel is. So that's what we decided to use as the consistent median. We've got 9 of these boxes made up, so each broadhead is going to get a brand new 2 shoulder scapulas and a brand new box full of this Jello. So we put a ton of work into this, and I'm excited to see which one performs the best. So we'll get the test started.
We're ready.
Okay. All right, first up is the Rage Trypan. Broke the knock. Right through the scapula. Can I open it up, Kev?
Yeah.
We won't be able to see what it did to the Jello, but obviously the arrow's right here. And it made it all the way through the back.
I'll cut that out.
We got a slight bit of blade bend, and unfortunately, let me pull this out. We just clipped the side of this other scapula. But you know, you got a big cut. That's the exit hole right there. It's still, you know, a lot of guys complain about the rages closing up after they go in, but you can see that's where the top of the cut is. Then it goes all the way down to there. So that's well over 1.5 inch exit hole, and it did clip bone there. is in great shape. All right. All right, number 2 with the Rage Trypan. Oh man, right through the, yeah, this is what we wanted. All right, so it went through both shoulder blades and the actual knob and splintered the knob right here. So both scapulas splintered the knob of the shoulder blade. And we'll see what the blade looks like. Wow. That's unbelievable how well that holds up. Through 2 shoulder blades, 300-pound hog shoulder blades, and through the knob. We've got a little bit of a bent blade. Both of them have a little bit of deformity, but some of that is target and meat that's inside the blade. But as far as the overall ferrule, man, it is brand new. I mean, you could definitely, I mean, that's super sharp. You could shoot that right through another animal. These blades would have to be replaced. Super impressed. All right, this is the exit hole, the second shoulder that it went through, completely deployed, 2-inch cut, and then through the back of the box, again, a cut from there to there, another 2-inch cut, all the way into the target, and the integrity of that head is incredible. Very impressed with these heads. We got one more to try. All right, number 3 with the Rage Trypan. That's unbelievable.
Going through them, huh?
I mean, all the way through. I mean, that is crazy. It's just blowing these scapulas apart. And the blade is hitting this, the big knuckle part. Whoops. I mean, yeah, it's still bent a little bit. The blades are bending just a little bit, but the ferrule is completely straight, still ultra sharp. And the only thing that's happening, these blades are bending just a little bit. You'd have to replace the blades. But this one is going right back into where it seats in those little ball and socket joints inside of them. All right, so this is the first up of the Mega Meat, the G5 Mega Meat, and what we've done is, since we didn't hit both shoulder blades with the Trypan on the first shot, we're going to do the same thing. So this first one is a single shoulder blade. I mean, it blew a hole through there. That is devastating. 3 big 2-inch cuts through the entrance. We'll look at the exit here in a second. And that top blade is actually through the, whoops. The top blade is
Top notch.
is through that the thick part of the shoulder blade. Let's see what kind of blade integrity. Watch out, Cole, that arrow's going to come. Man, they held together really good. Another knot blew up. So definitely a little bit more blade deformation, but the ferrule is in really good shape. All three of the blades are bent, but nothing is broken. So pretty good structural integrity going through one shoulder blade. And then the exit, after going through all the gel on the inside, you still got that 2-inch. It's a little bit smaller than the entrance, but not much. But say it's 1 3/4 inches from the middle. If you go all the way down, that's impressive.
Give me the rundown on what it is.
All right, second mega meet, 2 shoulder blades. Well, I mean, that's part of it, right? All right, so what happened here, as you can see, it actually literally hit the knuckle, cut all the way through it, and we still got penetration. We'll have to open this one up, but I bet it penetrated all. Yep, the tip came out right there. So
Just
obviously, yeah, just the tip. That's what she said. Obviously, that kills a deer. You didn't get all the way through the second scapula, but it's because it hit the knuckle. And that's literally like hitting a leg bone. So we got a mechanical broadhead that basically went through and cut a leg bone on a large hog shoulder. So we'll see what the broadhead looks like. Slide it back just a hair. Yep. Shit, she still stayed together, all 3 blades. They're bent.
I need like a sunshade for this. Mind your business.
So the blades are pretty deformed, but it made it all the way through the bone, the scapula, all the way to the second scapula, and created 3 2-inch blade wound channels. The structural integrity obviously is pretty deformed, but heck, I've seen 2-blade fixed blade heads bend going through scapulas, just going through scapulas. So that's pretty impressive. So you got cut there, cut there, cut there. All of them are fully deployed. That's a huge cut. Third mega meat, 2 scapulas. All right, perfect impact here. We got right in the side. It blew the big 3-blade hole. Let's open it up. So you got cut all the way to here. Whoops, sorry, Kev. Cut all the way to there. Cut all the way to there. And cut all the way to right there. So all three deployed after it went through the scapula. So once again, these blades are bending. They are not breaking. They're going all the way through these shoulder blades and creating 3 2-inch cuts. I can't, the devastation of that broadhead, I don't know that anything would match it. I really don't. The ferrule doesn't even look like it's been shot through anything. I mean, 0 blemish to the ferrule. And 2 out of the 3 blades are in really good shape. That one's bent a little bit. Mm-hmm. But look at that cut.
Yep.
It's impressive. I mean, and how many, I mean, yeah, a 1/4-2 shot, you might go through 1 scapula. You're not going through both. Broadside shot, you're going to be shooting behind it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this is worst case scenario. I mean, we saw what it did to 1 leg bone. If you shot it in a leg bone, it goes through it and sticks in the opposite side scapula. That's freaking badass. All right, this is the Sever 2.0 titanium. First one shot with the single shoulder blade. Arrow's done. Where's that a feather? That's a fletching. All right. So nice big entry hole. Huge exit. This is pretty cool. Look at that exit. All right, so they talk about the Sever here. This is interesting. They talk about the Sever, the blades moving, pivoting, and as you can see, this one was completely open to its full potential, and this one you don't even have an 1/8 of an inch cut. It stops right there. So those moving blades, we'll see how it penetrates through the double shoulder blades, but it didn't come all the way through the back of the target like the Trypan did. It was lodged inside the target, but this isn't. I mean, it could have hit a different part of this foam. So I don't see a huge penetration advantage, but that's not really what we're testing. The blade, the structural integrity of the blade is actually perfect. These could be shot again. Ferrule is in perfect shape. I mean, they literally, the structural integrity here is the best yet. But that, to me, is a little bit worrisome, is that you're not getting the full exit cut that you did with the Trypan. But the structural integrity is impressive.
Do it again.
Okay, second Sever 2.0 titanium through 2 shoulder blades. All right, the blade started right here on the knuckle. You can see where it cut through the knuckle. Then it completely shattered that scapula. And then come around back. And it blew through that one. I think this is the best penetrating one we've had yet. I can't obviously scientifically prove that, but you know, it's got a little bit of a cut over here, but you can tell that's where it started to close up again. And we'll see. I want to see how these cuts did on the box too. All right, this blade is bent. That might be bone or something in there. I don't want to kill myself. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it's bent. So it's bent closed. It's bent completely closed. But the ferrule is in good shape. But that one blade is bent all the way. I mean, you can see it's bent all the way closed, but the tips of the blades are in really good shape. This one's also bent a little bit. Not bad. All right, let's get these off of here. See how until it went through that. And I think what happened is it hit this knuckle. I think it hit right there, and that's what caused that blade to. But this time it was a full cut, full 2-inch cut, and at least 1.5 inches on the front side. It performed really well right there.
Yep, do that one again.
All right, last shot, double shoulder blades, Sever 2.0. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, complete 2-inch entry. Complete, well, took some bone with it. This one closed a little bit. This one was open the whole way. Around back. Again, it closed up. It's fully opened here, but closed way down there. So you got about 1.5 inch cut versus the 2-inch cut. But I think this head is penetrating, from everything I can see, is penetrating better. Let's see what the blades look like. In perfect shape. Through 2 scapulas, into the target. Blades in perfect shape. So that's a tough choice, man. A really tough choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say enough about these rip TKOs, man. Same 3 arrows. We blew some knocks off and some fletchings off, but the arrow, I mean, they're ready to go. That's the best arrow on the market, in my opinion. Victory Rip TKOs. All right, guys, we just concluded the 2022 mechanical broadhead test. We did the G5 Mega Meat 3-blade 100 grain, the Rage Trypan 2-blade 100 grain, and then the Sever 2.0 titanium. I actually was really impressed with all 3 heads. I really thought the Mega Meat was going to blow apart going through those scapulas, but it held together really good. I mean, the blades on all of them are bent, but you know, one of them hit dead on the bone and went all the way through the bone, through the scapula, through the cardboard, through all the gelatin, and then stuck in the opposite side shoulder. So really impressed with that. I guess if you had to say the weaknesses for all three heads, the Sever, these moving blades can get locked on top of one another, so you just get one cut, one side that's actually cutting. See how that blade locked on top of the other one and it won't come back open? I mean, maybe if it was enough force over here, but you can't pull it apart, and I tried. So those moving blades, in theory, to me, you know, it makes sense how they talk about it going around bone and stuff, but I think it could actually cause, you know, if it goes through a bone and locks up, you're not going to get the full 2-inch cut. So that would be a weakness, I think, for the Sever. Weakness for the Mega Meat would be the integrity of these blades. They're all bending when they go through heavy bone through scapulas. But the ferrule's in good shape. But yeah, that would be, these blades are a little bit weak. And then the Trypan, ferrule in great shape. The integrity of the blades is in pretty good shape, but there is some bending there, but a big wide cut. But those blades, I guess the integrity of those blades aren't as good as the Sever. So what I learned from this is really two things. This was a broadhead test, but the Rip TKO, Victory Rip TKO arrows are insanely strong. 9 shots through scapulas, and arrows were in perfect shape. So that was a plus. But this is kind of how I break it down. If you're looking for the best penetrating, toughest mechanical, I would say the Sever, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for the most devastating, biggest cutting, I'd go with the Mega Meat as the most devastating head. And if you're looking for something kind of in the middle with a big 2-inch cut, pretty good blade integrity, and plenty of penetration, then you'd go with the Trypan. But man, I could shoot any of them. I could shoot all 3 of them. You know, I haven't killed anything with the Sever, and I hadn't killed it. Well, that's not true. I killed 1 buck with a Sever. I've never shot the Mega Meats before, so I'm going to go to Texas here in a couple weeks, try and shoot 1 axis deer with this Mega Meat and 1 with the Sever, and see how they do out there. But 1/4 and 2 shots, any of these broadheads would be good. No problems with them. I've shot a ton of animals with these Trypans, and they have performed flawlessly. So all 3 good heads, and I could shoot all 3 of them. So I hope that gives you some intel. We're not sponsored by any of these, obviously, and you know, put this whole thing together on our own dime to give you real, honest feedback on how these broadheads provided. So appreciate it, guys. Any questions, hit us up, let us know. But all 3 really good heads.